Okay, welcome again. It is still Good Morning, Anambra, and this time we're going to look at our health, the way we are faring. It does appear a lot of people are sick now. Do I start with myself? Okay. But then I know I was down for about 5 weeks now, and whoever calls you, you will be, why are you sounding like this? I'm down too. What's going on? Are you sick too? Yes. Another person calls, and then you start wondering. In fact, some of us have started thinking, is there any kind of problem that is on air that is yet to be confirmed, apart from the cholera that is scaring everybody now? But this one is not even cholera. It's just fever, headache, and a whole lot of things, weakness of the body, and you keep wondering, is there another round of coronavirus? Okay, don't get scared. But we are here to talk about our health to ensure that we don't get caught in the world. Okay, what we are going to look at this morning is managing the current outbreak of cholera in Nigeria. You may have heard, that one is scary. I think it's out of this world. It's not like the cholera that you used to know. And I have a person that's supposed to know with me. She is pharmacist Dr. Nonye Eze Onyejiako. She is the medical officer, Government House Clinic, Oka, and also registry. You wanted to say something the other time?
The registrar in community medicine with the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University Hospital.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's not in my lineup. All right. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Dr. Nonye, I think I've had you here before.
Yes. I think so for hypertension or hepatitis, one of those. Yeah.
Okay, and now you're here for cholera.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome. Let's see, because what I read about this cholera was really scary. Is this the normal cholera that we used to do? No?
Yes, it's the cholera that we used to know, just that it's endemic in Nigeria. It's always there, but just that now the rainy season is just beginning. So with the rainy season, just like in Lagos State where we have most of the cases for Nigeria, there is usually flooding. So some places are already flooded, and then it's mixing with, places that are unsanitary. So that is why we're having this
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you have not heard this scary story of a woman that came in from Canada and then started feeling dizzy, and then it was rushed, she was vomiting, and before they got to the hospital and she's dead, and they tested her, they said that this is a very aggressive kind of cholera. Okay? So from there it started spreading. It's not part of what we are, experiencing now.
Okay, yes. For this woman that came in from Canada, well, she probably may be of a high socioeconomic status, which is unusual to have cholera. But then she must have probably bought food. She must have got food from a food vendor that was unhygienic while probably getting into Nigeria. So that alone is enough for her to come down with cholera. Yes.
Or low immunity, what could it be?
Yeah, she could also she's already having a low immunity, probably a HIV patient, or maybe treating any form of cancer. Then together with probably now having contacted cholera. That could just be enough.
So it wasn't like she came in with it?
No, she mustn't have. She may not have.
Because that's what the social media story is running with, that she came in with this. So where is this woman that introduced this, like when we had Ebola? It was also the same story that was going on, that a woman introduced this kind of aggressive cholera from Canada. Very scary. Okay, now you have heard. Let's get back to the table and look at the possible things that could cause cholera in this period that we are now.
Okay, so as I said, we're in the rainy season. It's just started. So
you may need to speak up.
I said we're in the rainy season.
Okay. We
just started. So people will have to be more careful with their food, the water they drink. People that do open defecation, these are risk factors for having cholera. So those are basically the issues. Environmental hygiene, constant washing of the hands. So these are things that we should look out for and be very careful with.
Okay, the things we should look out for. Okay, before we even start talking about this cholera proper, did you hear what I said when I was introducing this topic that it does appear most people are sick, and I can see your eyes. It's like you two, you two are treating malaria. So is it another aggressive malaria? Because a lot of people are down. Most people are very sick now. You keep wondering what's going on. Or is it poverty or hunger that you don't eat enough and then the body is vulnerable to, diseases? What could it be?
No, I don't think so. I think for the malaria, which usually, we know the vector for malaria is mosquito, and usually thrive with same unhygienic environments, So with a whole lot of open refuse dumping that we have around, so we are exposed to having these bites of this malaria parasite that is involved with malaria. So maybe with the rainy season also, so things get worse. I think that's why.
Okay, you're a pharmacist.
No, I'm not a pharmacist.
Okay, who wrote pharmacist for me here? Okay, so there's this what do you call it? When I was down, there's this problem that, speculations that were coming out. Everybody that comes to visit you will say that, we have problem with drugs now, that the drugs are no longer potent, and that's why perhaps you take this drug, it aggravates the whole thing, maybe because there's nothing there or whatever. So do we have any problem with our drug system now? Okay, some are saying because most of these good pharmaceutical industries have left the country, and then you don't know where they're churning out some of these drugs in the markets now. Is there any fear towards that direction?
Well, I don't think there should be any fear, because I think NAFDAC is on top of their game to ensuring that the drugs available for Nigerians are of good quality. So I think the drugs we are having so far, the individual has procured it from a reputable pharmacy. I think the drug is okay and safe.
So what is it with the resistance?
Okay, for the resistance, usually here, most of us, when we get sick, most of our people, we just go and get our drugs from the pharmacy. We don't usually go to hospital and get tested to know exactly what the problem is. There are a whole lot of things that cause fever, in our environment, but malaria happens to be what we usually think about. So people could have other diseases, a whole lot. There is dengue fever, there is Lassa, a whole lot of issues. But then the person could just be treating for malaria. So with that, it seems that there is resistance, but just that it could be something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, back to cholera. So we have established what could cause cholera. Let's look at the symptoms now. When do I suspect that this could be? Because naturally, some people purge, or you could eat something that irritates your system and you throw, that kind of a thing. Those may not really amount to cholera. So what do we see? What are the signs and symptoms that you see and you say that this could be cholera?
Okay, for cholera, the person will have profuse, that's copious, large quantity of diarrhea. And diarrhea here means the person will be going to the bathroom, diarrhea for up to more than 3 times in a day. It's copious, it's effortless, to just be like as if it's a pump,
Is that what you mean by copious?
Yes, so it's copious. And then there is, it would look like rice water at some point.
Rice?
Yes, that's why we call it rice water stew, because it looks just like rice water after boiling. Because at the beginning, the person first of all would defecate all the feces, probably in the large intestine in the system, with then afterwards, nothing is remaining, and then you don't start seeing this copious rice water stew. So the person could also be vomiting, So the person is passing this stew copiously, the person is vomiting. So once you see that, then it could be cholera, and you should watch out.
So apart from this vomiting and passing stool, are there other things that we should look out for too? look at the eyes, look at the skin or whatever?
So yes, when it starts, it goes, with time. Someone that is losing, because while you're passing the stool and vomiting, you're losing water from the body. So eventually the person becomes dehydrated. So what you actually see is the signs of dehydration. So if you look at the eyes, for a doctor, if you look at the eyes, it's going to be sunken. If you look at the abdomen, it will be like it's scaphoid. It's like concave. It's very flat. If you look at the skin, is dry. Just see signs of dehydration. So as it gets worse, the system is like collapsed. The person is like almost in a state of shock. The person could even stop passing urine because of this
Dehydration.
Yes, because of this dehydration.
Oh, okay, let's look at first aid. Okay, what do I do if I have somebody that presents a case like this before I get to the hospital? What do I do first?
So, what to do when there is something, when you're suspecting cholera, is to rehydrate the person. And this rehydration can be done with ORS, oral rehydration solution.
Whether it's a kid or an adult?
Yes, for everybody, it's ORS. So this ORS, there is the one that's already made in a sachet. So that's already constituted in a sachet, is put in 1 liter of water. And then the person continues to drink it because you're losing, you're passing through, you're losing water. So you just continue to replenish, So, or you can do the homemade, if you don't have that one that is in the sachet, you can do the homemade reconstitution of the ORS, where you use 6 level teaspoons of sugar and half level teaspoon of salt. Mix it, continue to turn it until they all dissolve, and then you take it in just the same way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then when do I go to hospital?
So while you're doing that, you're expected to be going to the hospital. This is just to sustain you while you get to the hospital. Yeah, so you get to the hospital, because actually cholera is a disease that should be notified. So it's not something you just deal with at home and so you're expected to just do that and then take the person to the nearest hospital, whereby the health workers will take it up from there. They will determine how severe it is to know whether to go on and use intravenous fluids on the person in addition to the ORS.
Okay.
So you should get to the hospital as soon as possible.
Okay. So what do we do to avoid cholera? How do we prevent it?
So basically it's about maintaining proper sanitation, proper sewage disposal, proper refuse disposal, boiling our water, ensuring this period our fruits and vegetables are washed thoroughly before we take them, especially the foods we have to take raw. We should wash it, wash our hands as often as possible. This period reduce our level, the rate at which we eat out, where we don't know how the food is being prepared. Cook our food ourselves and ensure our water, everything is clean. So with that, to a very large level, to be controlled.
How do we deal with the water thing? Because I don't know where to start. Most people don't have access to good drinking water. You go to buy what they call sachet water. It's very expensive. Like what you noticed in the streets recently. Now people now get water direct from the borehole and keep in the house and drink. Okay, not minding whether it is safe or not. So what do we do to ensure that the water we drink is safe to avoid cholera? Because from all the areas where you can get cholera, I think water is the one that has direct entry to your body. If you buy vegetables, you wash it and then cook it, even if it's half done, but at least it has passed a process that will reduce, But in this case, water is direct. So what do we do?
So basically, if your source of water is from the tap or from the well or from surface water from the stream, so basically what we should do now is to ensure we go a step further to boil the water. You boil your water, allow it to cool, filter the water, and then it's safe for drinking.
What do you
Yes.
boil with? The gas. This gas, this present gas, or the electricity, this with this tariff, or what, or the firewood that they can't even access. I don't know what to boil with, but let's keep that one aside because it does appear we're in a very big mess here. Okay, so let's look at what the state is doing. You are from the government house clinic. What are you guys doing to ensure that people are sensitized about what is going on? This cholera, this killer cholera that is in town.
Okay, right now from last week, I think the risk communication department has already started sending out messages to the health workers, even to the communities. So the risk communication is ongoing. You know, people are being sensitized on what to do and where to report to, who to notify if they notice anything going on. So I think that's what's happening, and probably that's why up till now Anambra is there to have a case of cholera, though it's already in our neighboring
Yes,
states.
I was going to ask you that, whether we have had any established case of cholera or confirmed case of cholera.
None for now.
The recent cholera outbreak.
None for now in Anambra State, but we
None
already
for now.
have in Imo.
What if it has happened in the hinterland?
Okay, none for now reported, but then active case search is going on. Active case search is going on, so cases are being searched for, you know, and tested to know if there is any, but now none reported for now.
Okay, should we be scared? Because it does appear that the spread is very, very rapid. Should we be scared in any way? Where do you say it has gotten to? So that we know when to start running.
Well, I think it's not about being scared. I think we should just watch it. We should, you know, the sensitization that is going on, we should take it very seriously, speak to our families. It's got to already to Imo State, it's got to Abia, it's already in Delta, and these are our neighboring states. So we should just be more careful, we should be alert and watch what we do, you know, festivities, ceremonies, you know, we should watch it so that things we don't get contaminated.
Is there anything that we need to apply, like what happened in the days of, what do you call it, Ebola, and then coronavirus, where people, that's this restriction to, restriction of movements and a whole lot of things. I know that my mother died during the Ebola thing, and then we were forced to make provisions for washing hands, facilities, soap, and other kind of a thing. So is there anything that we need to do now to prevent this from spreading? Because we talked about watch how you attend occasions and whatever. That's hunger in the land. So to tell people to go to occasion and don't eat, it's like telling them to go and commit suicide. People hope for occasions to go and feed and get some in the cellophane and take home. So what do we do, like people that are hosting occasions, to ensure that anybody that comes there is safe?
Yeah, so basically is that hand washing, just to keep up with our hand washing techniques. You know, keep up with the hand washing techniques. For the occasions, mainly the food vendors are the ones that should ensure that the food, the preparation, those preparing the food, that are safe and not infected. So basically,
Food vendors for the big occasions. What
Yes.
about the booker?
yes,
Mama
even
puts?
even the commercial food vendors, you know, yeah, everybody should be on alert and watch it so that
They're not listening to us. Is there anything that the ministry is doing to reach out to them, to tell them that this is what is in town now, that you need to be careful with the food you serve people?
Yes, yes. There is actually a department for the water and sanitation, you know. So they're also involved with the food vendors. They have, I think they have a group, you know, so they're being sensitized to watch what they do this period to avoid contamination.
Okay, thank you very much. You may need to give our people the message, the goodwill message of health, so that we take care of our lives. Nobody should die.
Okay, so basically what we are saying is people should be more careful. People should wash their hands. You know, people building houses, or rather landlords should provide toilet systems for their tenants so that people won't have to do open defecation. The marketplaces, public places, there should be, toilets provided. So basically that is it.
Okay, and you that go to the markets, make sure that you wash your vegetables and fruits very, very well. Sometimes they ask us to be washing with salt. Recently they say you shouldn't use salt again. So where are we? Washing the fruits and vegetables with salt. Is it safe?
Yeah, it's safe.
Because most of us can't lay our hands on vinegar that they say you should use, but then
it's safe. It's safe to wash with salt because salt has some antibacterial properties. That's why you asked to wash with salt. So it's actually very safe. Okay. You wash with the salt and you rinse it properly, and
what
you're
about
good.
cooking? What about cooking half-done vegetables? Do we still have to have done now, or just cook it full to ensure there was no cholera in it?
Okay, just cook properly. Cook your food properly, and then don't. If you have to eat it, then you warm it. You shouldn't eat your food cold. You warm it so that there won't be any bacterial activity going on.
Because there's possibility of that you but then eat warm food. That's what the doctor is telling us this morning. Make sure that your food is hot, not just warm, so that when we go to minimize the other thing. You understand? I'd like to thank you, those of you that watched us this morning. Thank you very much. I will try our best to make sure that we'll get to you in any way that we could. The motive is to ensure that you live healthy. And we looked at managing the current outbreak of cholera in Nigeria this morning. I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Nonye Ezonye-Jako, Medical Officer, Government House Clinic, Oka, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
You too. You're pretty.
Thank you.
To do that. Very
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. My name is Tijama, and God keeping us. We'll continue from where we stop tomorrow. Good morning.